My name is Piper Bernard, and this is my final project for COM 457, Section 601, Media and the Family Online. My professor is Dr. Craig, and this is a presentation of my self-improvement project that relates to both media and the family. So the family context I've chosen to focus on is the chosen personal family, which defines family on the basis of our individual beliefs about who counts as family, which came from Communication in the Family, page 6. So the people that I count as part of my family include all of my closest, most special friends. These include only a handful of people that I'm most connected to. I chose this topic because as time goes on and as people move, friendships often can get lost along the way. So in my transition from high school to college, I moved a far distance away from both my biological family and my personal chosen family. To be exact, I moved about 12 hours away when driving. So this meant that I could only see them on breaks and holidays such as Thanksgiving, Christmas, and possibly spring break, although that didn't often happen. So really only a couple times a year, which left me very sad because of the close bond that we all had before I left. In order to maintain long-distance family relationships, a plan for improvement is necessary in order to stay connected and stay in each other's lives, which is very important. So my research question for this project is, how can one preserve and support long-distance relationships for prolonged periods of time? So for our previous projects that led up to this final presentation, I had to come up with a 3-sentence summary in order to bring focus to what I wanted to achieve through this self-improvement project. So here is my sentence summary. Communication can be challenging for long-distance friendship for many people, no matter the age or the geographic distance. There's no doubt that it gets more complicated trying to keep in touch as the years go on, even if there's a lot of value and importance held in a friendship. Since graduation, moving, and new jobs are approaching fast for many college students, how can one maintain communication and connection in long-distance friendships? Now, moving on, I can now detail what some of the new information that I learned from my scholarly research. So from the research that I completed, I found that there are some big differences in communication and relations between geographically close relationships and long-distance relationships. The first alteration that needs to be made when involved in a long-distance relationship is the acceptance of change in the relationship in order to move forward into the new chapter of each person's life, which came from Johnson 426. Accepting that things will be drastically different is necessary so that each person can figure out how to communicate with each other in a new way. Additionally, dedication can be the difference between a flourishing relationship and losing touch altogether, whether that be simply maintaining or even declaring this dedication, which came from Kelmer 267. A commitment to valuing the relationship diminishes this uncertainty that can be formed as a result of the long distance. Uncertainty in a relationship can have seriously negative impacts. As a result of this uncertainty, sometimes like the natural quality of a relationship can be altered, which came from Salstein 154. So all of these ideas and more need to be put into action in order for long-distance relationships to flourish with the use of technology. So my improvement plan part 1 came with a primary goal, which is to help build our relationship by connecting more on a weekly basis with my chosen personal family that are far distances away. A secondary goal to this would be to ask family members to have group FaceTime or Skype sessions during the holidays to catch up. Therefore, we'll have the opportunity to break the ice and connect on a group level. And according to Kelmer 258, it's been found that long-distance relationships report feeling less companionship, shared less personal information, as well as lower levels of overall relationship satisfaction, which is why more frequent connection is necessary. Another secondary goal to this would be to call each member on the phone individually, maybe a month or so later, in order to connect on a more personal level than the group level. And then thirdly, is to make an effort to maintain these friendships by texting on more of a regular basis than usual, after the phone call, of course, in order to be included in each other's lives more frequently. Also, according to Kelmer, page 266, it was that maintaining or at least declaring high levels of dedication may help in resolving any cognitive dissonance that's present in long-distance relationships. So my next primary goal was I will try to be more available or make more time to connect instead of simply saying that I'm too busy with school, work, other friendships, and such. So a secondary goal to this would be take a part of each week where I'm just on my phone doing nothing to instead connect with a different member of my personal chosen family. Do this by simply reaching out through different forms of technology. It doesn't need to be very personal, just some kind of connection made. And according to Johnson, friendships in general are described as vulnerable relationships due to their voluntariness, lack of institutional ties, and availability of alternative friends. So, this is the reason that I need to make more time out of my schedule to prioritize the relationships that really matter to me. So the secondary goal is to implement a new tradition of having these FaceTime or Skype sessions once a semester or after college, once a fall, once a spring, once a summer, stuff like that, and go from there, putting emphasis on taking time to connect. So according to Brody, it's been found that as friends become geographically distant and therefore let's use computer mediated communication, this can result in an over attribution of positive relational outcomes to those friends with whom they communicate frequently. This means that if I FaceTime my family more frequently, relationship can become stronger. Moving on, it was important to address this family, or excuse me, it was important to address this plan with the people that I'll be trying to engage it with, my personal chosen family. Even though I was still a long distance away from them, Thanksgiving made for a good way to connect with all these friends. I started out with small talk, went into bigger topics through one-on-one texting with different individuals. Starting with Thanksgiving and then school, and then this improvement plan was a good transition. There wasn't really enough time to go into depth into the improvement plan. However, they all seemed open and willing to explore this with me. The response I received was great because they all seemed excited and willing to engage this plan. I was very pleased with the result and will engage my plan more as we all go on break from school very soon for Christmas. Also, as graduation comes near, all the members of this family will be intrigued about what everyone else will do after school ends and where they'll all end up. Now, as we think about the implementation plan that I have in place, it was important to get some feedback and criticism in order to make these goals more attainable and achievable in real life. There are a couple goals that I can definitely continue to work on for improvement after this class. One thing that I could add to my goals would be specification on what kinds of simple connection can be made to maintain this relationship. This could be seeing a funny post on Instagram and sending it to them, showing that you thought a post would make them laugh, shows that you care. In addition, seeing like a weird news story on Snapchat can be passed on, and it creates immediate topics that you can share and talk about, which is simply a conversation starter. Additionally, I'll continue to work on my goal of taking some time each week to connect through technology, nothing major or serious, in order to maintain dedication to each friendship. Trying not to focus too much on the timing is also important to address, because having strict timing of when you should, quote unquote, connect could be potentially straining to the relationship. And experiencing more organic conversations is important, which includes not having serious time stressors involved, because that just causes strain. So these goals will inevitably change and evolve over time, as each of my long-distance friendships will connect in different ways. Discussing this improvement plan with my chosen family, is in addition to my traditionally defined family, was important in order to assess and modify these goals. My new media connections I will use will also alter over time as a result of the different factors involved in connection with each different member. In general, this assessment was beneficial to the improvement plan I came up with and how I will connect with my long distance friends in the future. And finally, here's like a little animation from Winnie the Pooh, where Pooh and Christopher Robin are sharing a nice moment, telling each other that they always be there for each other, which is what I'd like to think my personal chosen family and I have together. And here are my references. Thanks so much for the good semester and happy holidays. Thank you.